sorry. I see my man playing with demon arms. I'm leaving. I'm taking my baby and I'm leaving. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Devil May Cry. We're now on to episode 6, which is called The First Circle. So in our last episode, we got to see Dante finally hit that trigger that the rabbit was telling him about. He's got a full other form with wings and all the shebangs, and it comes out, it looks like, when he's in times of distress or a heightened emotional state, I guess would be the way to put it. He doesn't really exactly know how to control it yet, but at least now he knows it's a real thing. And thanks to the help of Mary being able to put pieces together, she's figured out that the only way that the rabbit can open the portal is if Dante, and something about Dante's blood helps him to open the portal. So the rabbit has demanded that Dante come to him within 30 minutes because he basically, if he doesn't, then he's going to unleash a bunch of demons into the city and it's going to cause all kinds of mayhem. So Dante is probably going to go and do what he's going to do because, well, I mean, they have to at least try to stop the army. And then I'm not sure what Mary's planning on doing, but I don't think she's going to be too happy when she figures out that the vice president went against her orders. So that's where we're at, ready to jump in. Just before I do, though, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know when I drop episodes, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button. There we go, as well as the notification bell. All right, they're out of the way. Let's get into the episode right now. Oh, we've got the story. Is this the rabbit story now? Yeah, we've got the looming rabbit and a little boy. Mary's family. Her dad always kind of looked a bit creepy, though, to be fair. Sorry, Mary. Okay, we're getting a little bit more elaboration on what she remembered last episode when she was emptying her clip in that room. What is he cooking? Do we want to know? Oh, he had gotten his hands on demon blood. How did he even know she was looking through the peephole? Ma'am, I don't know how you're still here. This is your problem. You should have left. I'm sorry. I see my man playing with demon arms. I'm leaving. I'm taking my baby and I'm leaving. Alice in Wonderland. Is this... Okay, this is the rabbit, right? Honey, I know you didn't bring a toy like that in here with the place with bullies. I guess you didn't know better. They just wanted the money. Nothing hurts me more, honestly, than when I hear stories of people who take in kids who hate them just for the money. Like, it's just disgusting. But okay, maybe this explains why this child wants the world to burn, to be perfectly honest. When I think of those people, I get it. Oh, is this why he created the device? Because he saw the portal. Oh, that's actually really cool how they made that correlation. So he went to the demon realm because it was better than being in that horrible foster house. Wow, humans rock. The parallels, not her and the rabbit having more in common than not. She'd probably never believe it. Oh, we're in color now. And whole new animation. Totally different animation style. He's like, somehow you are still less terrifying than my foster family. It was just a horned beast that saved him? Oh, he stayed here. Oh, interesting. I did not pick that up at all. So they're saying this is a hell dimension. It's feeling so much more like an alien one, but considering what this show's about, I guess it's just another dimension of hell. It'd be kind of funny if it just like ate his hand. I just, sorry. Sweet moment. There's been no dialogue. This is so good. I love when they use animation to tell stories like this, because they have to do a good job when they don't explain what's happening. Oh, the baby. Wait for the baby. Oh, is this because the air is poisoning? That's right. They said the air was making them sick. Oh, no. This is how he made the device. I get it. He needed something to be able to open the portal. Oh, is the baby gonna make it? I don't think the baby's gonna make it. Who lives there? You know what? Doesn't feel like a welcome sign. Let's back up. It's a lot of eyes. Feels a little excessive. Oh. Poor Bebe. Oh, this is where she got the idea to confront her dad. Oh wait, was she trying to keep him from injecting himself? Must be, because that's what we saw. I don't know why you stayed. Yeah, sorry ma'am. I can't feel for you, because why the hell did you stay if you know what he was doing? That was your chance to grab your daughter and run. Sorry, honey, you did not need to see that. Somehow it's an improvement. Your dad looked terrible before. Can't say that girl's ever been scared, though. Oh, he burnt himself. Comeuppance. I'm glad you didn't have to do it yourself, sweetie. That would have been a bit much. No, you can burn. All right, well, Mary's got a messed up background. It's actually a wonder she's not crazier. Well, at least this death was a little less violent. It's literally a metaphor for her life going up in flames. 2 lives burning up at the same time. Oh, he did? Okay. Last of his innocence being burnt up with that book, too. That makes sense that she would have found them. Oh, he stayed there. I guess he doesn't have a way back yet. He's creating his way back. So that makes sense. He's creating the way back because he wants to make a way for them all to be able to get over there. So it started out altruistic-ish. Oh, he was a genius this whole time. Imagine if that had opened up like 300,000 feet in the air. It's like Tarzan. And there's Mary taking out her anger and vengeance on everybody that's not her dad. So she went, Darkholm found where he was putting all the refugees, slaughtered them all. Uh-oh. Hello, darkness, your old friend. Oh, so he was getting more? Is that what's happening? And then they invaded? And then he probably came back and found them all dead. Ah, Sister Mary, when you find out that you might have indirectly caused this whole problem... It's not just her, though. Darkholm, I guess, sent them there. But she would have still wiped them all out. Oh, so she saw the portal. How does she not remember this? Or maybe she did and we just haven't heard about it yet. Oh, now they're going to feel like you lied to them.
Hold!
Yep, there's a human.
You. Why do you look human?
Because I am.
I am human. Please. We mean no harm.
Same voice. I mean, I told you to shut the door. Yeah, that turned into a fustercluck. But I get why Mary doesn't even think that this is related because she saw the human.
Darkholm, evacuate!
Wow, you created that mess and then you ran? Oh, that's why. So she left Bunny for dead. Okay, it makes sense. She thought he was dead. Wow, see what happens when you're greedy? You ate a whole string of bombs. That's why he wants her. He wants to make sure she sees it when things go bad. How did he survive? Is it his brother? Because I could have sworn his brother was blonde. But if he survived that, he can't be human if he survived that. Not fully. That was a big-ass blast. And there's the villain origin story. Childhood, then he finds a new family, and then this happens? Yep. Pretty much bar for bar. Villain origin story. There he goes. He snapped. And that's also why he hates Darkholm so much. Oh, he's Darth Vadering it. So he barely survived. He actually sewed that onto his body. Okay. What you gotta do, bro?
Now, we all go down the rabbit hole. Together.
Okay. I'd rather not. I didn't do anything. I had nothing to do with this. I'm innocent. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I think that was the best episode of the season so far. That was great. Fantastic use of different types of animation, but also what I call tableau storytelling, where we don't use words, we show, which, I mean, this is a show, so you should be able to show me a lot without necessarily dumping a lot of exposition on me, but we did get a lot of exposition, more than I think we would have been able to honestly convey if they had a bunch of dialogue, right? Because how else would you kind of go through something like this when it's really not just one, but two stories being told in parallel over a significant amount of time, right? Showing us was the best way, and they did a great job of it. This reminds me a lot of the episode in Dun of between the, what is it, the dancing demon and the girl. You know, I won't get into details if you haven't watched it, but that's also a great episode. But similar idea of not using words, but showing us and using different tools to show time passage. And again, very creative use of the animation, showing, first of all, putting it in black and white to begin with for two reasons. One, because it lets us know as the audience that it's in the past, but also because of where they were in their lives when these things were happening. Like, I think we have to kind of take a look at both sides first, or both sides separately, I should say. I'll start with Mary's. We got a taste of what Mary went through last episode, why she has such a visceral bias and absolute, hatred of demons. And it's because we see that, in her childhood, they were attacked. Her father, I guess, already theorized that demons existed, but didn't have proof until that night. And then he tried to prove it to everyone else, but everyone thought he was crazy because he didn't have anything to show. And then it's like he just became literally obsessed with proving that he was right. But then it's like a combination of not wanting to be mocked, I guess, for his beliefs, but also recognizing the more he learned, the more helpless that humans were against them. He became hyper paranoid, and that turned into him being obsessed with becoming more powerful. And I think initially it wasn't a bad reason. I think he did it because he thought it would help him protect his family. But obviously over time it got twisted into just a good old-fashioned lust for power. And it got to the point where we saw that he eventually locked himself away in his lab, locked himself away from his family. Like, his daughter didn't see him anymore. His wife didn't see him anymore. We saw the effect it was taking. And we see that Mary started to kind of put together through what she could see that her dad was up to something nefarious, but she couldn't do anything to stop it because she was a child, but also it was her dad. I think she really wanted to believe that nothing too crazy was actually happening. And then, unfortunately, when she finally kind of got the courage to face whatever her dad was doing because she knew something bad was happening, it was literally too late. Her mom was there desperately trying to stop her dad from doing what eventually ended up being the last thing he ever did, which was injecting so whatever he made, whatever concoction he made with demon DNA. And yeah, unfortunately, it meant that she lost her mom that night at the hands of her dad, and her dad would have taken her out too if, fate hadn't intervened and set the whole thing on fire. And so I love the symbolism that they showed of, as the house went up in flames, that kind of was the last of her innocence, right? We saw her only play and be happy when she was with that young boy, who I think they alluded to the fact that the boy passed away as well in the fire. I can't be 100%, maybe her brother. They never really explained. But anyway, we just saw it all burning. And again, like I said, what does she even say to people? Does she tell them that her dad turned into a demon, right? Most people, even if she explained that, people probably would have thought that she was using metaphors and that her dad just snapped and did something horrible, because it's sad that that's a thing that happens. But anyway, so we kind of saw that whole thing. We now know why Mary is so determined to eradicate demons. She feels like that it's literally the source of all the things that went wrong in her life. She had an idyllic life before that, and it slowly but surely slid downhill. And then, it was demons, or at least the obsession, that ended up taking out her family. But really, now that I think she's seen what happened in the last episode, that they're not all the same, hopefully she'll eventually recognize that what happened with her family was really not because of demons, but because of her father. Sadly, humans are so much worse. And in this case, it was her dad's obsession and the fact that he lost all sense of what was important. And then on the other side of things, we had the story of the rabbit, who we still don't have a name for. We never heard a name said, and I think they did that on purpose. I would have to go back to episode 1 because I cannot remember the color of Virgil's hair. I could have sworn it was blonde, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Either way, because we see Dante's as white and always has been, but I digress. With the rabbit, he was an orphan. And why did his parents die again? Did we see that? Sorry, I'm trying to remember. We saw so much. No, I think we started it with him being taken to foster care. And we see that as soon as he got into foster care, it was an abusive situation. It was no love. It was any little thing he had. Actually, you know what? I think it's got to be Virgil. Because he showed up there and he had like a really expensive toy, right? I'm just saying that if somebody who's been bouncing around the system, they would not have something like a toy plane. You know what I'm saying? They usually don't have nice things like that to bring into foster care. But anyway, long story short, it was an abusive home. There was no love for him there. And it got to the point where he wanted to hide away from the family more than be at home. And we see that he actually stumbled upon the first portal that accidentally opened into this realm. He went in there, and I love that they showed the allusion to Alice in Wonderland that, you know, he escaped through books before this portal happened. And he just figured, hey, this is a portal into a new world that's going to be better than the one I'm living in. And thus started his adventure of him going to that realm, making friends, making family, making connections again, feeling like he's a part of something, caring about people who cared about him. He clearly didn't care about what they were or why they were the way they were. They accepted him for being different and vice versa. And then he saw that things in that world were not great. There was obviously a hierarchy. There were some things like that thing that chased him the first day and whatever was going on with those people that were taking them in as slaves, etc. So it wasn't all good, but for the most part, the biggest issue was the toxic environment. They couldn't live there. And so once one of his little friends didn't make it, he dedicated that extraordinarily smart brain, if we're talking about it, because he'd been in that portal since he was a child. So he figured out at a very young age how to create a portal out of what he could find there, or a portal control device, I should say. And he used that to get back to their realm, which he had no desire to go back to, but because it was killing them, it looks like he was more resistant, mind you. But anyway, it was killing them and he needed to help them. So that's why he brought them over, not for any other, dark purpose. And he was trying to keep them in a place where they could at least live and just live, right? They weren't even trying to get out there and integrate. But because of Darkholm, and again, showing the parallel stories of why Mary and a lot of people at Darkholm probably felt the same way she did, there was no understanding, there was no attempt to understand, and then they found this place, and when they eventually came up across the portal and how things were happening, everything was misunderstood very, very quickly, and we see that things did not end well. And so understandably, we get why the rabbit had his villain origin story. Like, two families shattered. Again, we don't know what happened to his original family. Abuse throughout his childhood. Tries to rebuild the family, do the right thing. Sees it all literally blown up in front of him. Not to mention that he was within an inch of his life and somehow survived. Yeah, it's understandable why he's like, humans are far worse than anything I've seen on the other side of that portal, right? So I like the metaphors that it's giving too about humanity and how we can often be far worse than anything that can be conjured in the way of hell and demons, unfortunately. So anyway, great way that they've shown how these two stories affect each other, because for all intents and purposes, they are independent. But that last part is why the rabbit wanted to get Mary specifically and have her alive when he found her, because he really wants to make sure that she sees and remembers and understands that her decision that day was what, in his mind, precipitated everything that's happening now. Even though I feel like he doesn't realize that by opening these gates, it's going to make things so much worse. Like, even for the people he said he was trying to protect, which, I mean, he started to experiment on them, so I'm not sure where that came from. But either way, we now know where that correlation comes from. So yeah, I think that was really, really good. I think they did a fantastic job of telling these two origin stories and doing it in one episode, because considering they only had half an hour, not even, they did a really good job. And I feel like I got a lot. I understand what's going on now. And we're ready now to move into the next phase and see what happens when the inevitable confrontation happens. So yeah, good episode. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.